In this tutorial, we'll set up full weapon properties using the FireBullet behavior, fire real 3D bullet objects, add ray-traced muzzle flash, display ammo with a text object, and build manual and auto reloading. Make sure you watch the weapon swap tutorial on my channel before following this guide. First, open up your weapon object settings. Head over to the Behaviors tab. This is where we attach the logic. Make sure you have the FireBullet 3D behavior attached. Now, customize your stats. Set your max clip size, tweak the fire rate to control how fast it shoots, and decide if you want infinite ammo or realistic reloading. Easy as that. Next, you need a target. Create a 2D sprite to act as your crosshair. Open the object properties and click on Edit Points. This part is crucial. Make sure your origin point is set to the exact center of the image. If this is off, your bullets won't shoot straight. Alright, now we are going to build the actual event sheet logic to make the gun fire. Start by creating a new event. We need to establish when the player is allowed to shoot. First, add a condition to check for input. Search for mouse button. Select touch or left mouse button is down. Next, because this is a 3D shooter, we only want to fire when the game is actually active and the mouse is captured. Search for cursor and choose the cursor pointer is locked. This prevents the gun from going off if you're just clicking around in menus. Now, we need to check our player's state variables. We don't want to shoot if we don't have a gun. I have a Boolean variable set up called armed. I'm going to search for Boolean value of an object variable, select my player or armature, and check if armed is true. I'll add one more variable check for picked, which is my logic for having the weapon actually equipped in the inventory. Set that to true as well. Now for the most important part, the extension logic. Search for the FireBullet 3D conditions. Select your weapon object, the Glock. Choose is gun ready to fire. You don't need to create manual timers or cooldowns. The extension looks at the fire rate property we set earlier and handles the delay automatically. We also need to make sure we aren't currently reloading. Add another condition for the Glock and select is reloading. Crucial step, you must look at the switch at the bottom and invert this condition. We're saying only shoot if the gun is not reloading. Last condition. Since we might have multiple guns later, let's verify which one we are holding. I check the animation name of my visual model to make sure it currently equals Glock. Okay, that's our condition block done. If all of these are true, we are allowed to shoot. Now move over to the actions. First, I'm going to flip a Boolean on my bullet object. I'm setting the variable isActive to true. This isn't strictly necessary for the physics, but it's helpful if you have other logic that needs to know a bullet exists in the scene. Now for the math. Search for the FireBullet 3D actions and select Shoot Hitscan Ray. Select your Glock as the firing object. For max distance, I'm typing in 5,000. This acts as the range of the bullet. For the target, select the Crosshair 2D sprite we made earlier. This draws an invisible line from the gun barrel directly to the center of your screen. The ray handles the hit detection, but we want to see a projectile. Add an action, spawn bullet. Select the Glock as the source and the bullet as the object to spawn. Now look at these offsets, forward, right, and up. These determine exactly where the bullet appears relative to the gun model. I'm experimenting with -25 for forward and 25 for right. You might need to tweak these numbers depending on where the barrel hole is on your specific 3D model. Finally, set the bullet's speed. I'm setting this to 5,000 so it travels instantly to the target. A gun needs to sound powerful. Add a play a sound action. I'm choosing my 9mm single isolated file. I'll set the volume to 20 so it isn't too loud and keep the pitch at 1. Make sure you don't select loop or it will never stop playing. Finally, let's add some juice, a muzzle flash. Search for spawn muzzle flash. I'm using my hit particle object to act as the flash. Select the Glock as the source. For the scale, I want this to be big and visible for a split second, so I'm bumping the scale way up to 5,000. And that is it. We have input, safety checks, raycasting, visuals, and audio all in one event. Now let's set up the reloading mechanics. We want the gun to automatically reload when the clip hits 0. Create a new event. For the condition, go to your weapons group and search for Should Gun Auto Reload. This condition automatically checks if your current magazine is empty and if you have reserve ammo available. We need to make sure this doesn't glitch out by triggering every single frame. Add a subcondition or a standard condition and check Is Reloading. Invert this condition. This logic now says if the gun needs to reload and it isn't already reloading, then proceed. Move to the actions. Search for Reload Gun. This will trigger the reload time duration we set up in the behavior properties earlier. Once that timer finishes, it will refill the mag from your reserve ammo. Finally, let's let the player reload manually before the clip is empty. Add a new event. Set the condition to key pressed and choose R. Always add a trigger once condition here so it doesn't try to reload 60 times a second while you hold the key. Then just copy the reload gun action from the previous event and paste it here. Now your weapon system handles both empty clips and tactical reloads. And there you have it, a fully functional weapon system with customizable properties created with just a few events. I've got more updates coming soon, so if you have an idea for a cool feature, come join the Discord server and let me know.